How's it going, guys? I wanted to make this little video today for you guys to really inform the people that really, just have a dogmatic view. And a lot of people have this all or nothing attitude. While I do agree it's sometimes necessary in cases where you pretty much lack no motivation or you just have a lack of something in general. But if you have even just a basic, just normal level of drive, motivation, anything, I really feel like you can afford to be lenient, especially when it comes to this thing, adherence. But the topic of the day is everything perfect versus flexible dieting. So, as you see these 3 points, I'm talking about everything perfect. I'm talking about you eat clean food, you eat clean bro food, 6 meals a day, perfect protein timing, perfect meal timing, perfect everything for perfect hormonal balance versus flexible dieting, aka if you count your macros / calories, and you're gonna see, like you can fit in like junk food and stuff into your diet. That's basically what it is. But anyways, I think that in terms of adherence, obviously flexible dieting is probably gonna be more adherable than everything perfect. I feel like willpower is a reserve that can easily be diminished over a period of time. So if you do everything perfect, I feel like this takes a lot of willpower. If you're sitting there and you eat everything bro, everything clean, everything 24/7, but you do have a developed sensibility of, oh yeah, I know that I can be eating chocolate because, in terms of results, they're going to be relatively the same. You might get a slight advantage from this, very slight, very, 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 very slight, but then adherence comes into play, and if you can't stick to this, you're going to, guess what? You're going to overeat. You're going to break your diet. You're going to break your diet more, and results will be impaired because you can't follow this, 24/7. Very few people can. Very few people can, and that's because they literally have to neglect everything else in their life. They have to neglect their social life. They have to neglect relationships. They have to neglect even just practicality of just doing anything in general. And they just really need to focus on just their diet alone. I didn't even think this interferes with training to a degree because I feel like some people are so focused on meal timing, meal frequency, post-workout, pre-workout. I feel like people are way too focused on that and they end up just producing more stress, and stress will actually produce more cortisol, and you'll in turn feel worse, and you don't want that. You want to feel fine on a diet, and I think people really understand that dieting doesn't necessarily mean caloric restriction. It doesn't mean always in a state of trying to lose fat. Dieting in general is just, your eating habits. What's your eating structure? Because for me, dieting is whatever I just like to do. Like dieting for me is I have a strict meal structure where I do intermittent fasting, and that gives me a lot more flexibility to what I can actually eat. In terms of this, everything perfect, I feel like people think that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I highly disagree. It doesn't really matter at all. Some people like it, some people hate it. But you gotta find out for yourself and what can make you more adherable to your diet. But flexible dieting, of course it's gonna be more. Of course it's gonna be more adherable because you can sit there and eat stuff that you still want just as long as you maintain a caloric deficit or maintenance, whatever your caloric range is, you can still maintain it. Results, again, same, slight edge on this, probably because you have better regulated hormones and micronutrients. You have a better micronutrient profile in terms of your diet throughout the day, which also can in turn show better hormonal balance, which in turn will help you lose fat faster, build muscle quicker, whatever, all lines of that. And then mindset. Obviously, everyone needs the correct mindset for dieting. I feel like people really misconstrued like dieting in terms of just restriction instead of what can I do long term. So I can tell you right now, from going from a cut to maintenance is really not that big of a deal. It's depending on how like if you're on a 500 calorie cut, again, 500 calories is not that much. That's eating like an extra cup or two of rice. That's literally nothing. And even bulking, what you're gonna maybe do is 200 calories surplus a day because you cannot put on that much muscle in the span of a period of time. Because funny thing is, the weights that you're lifting a month ago are actually the results that you have today. It's not the results of what you did a few days ago, it's the results of what you did a month ago, basically. So, mindset of dieting, you want to find lifestyle. Never mind, I give up. trying to spell today. I want to find lifestyle-oriented eating, because if you sit there and do something strictly for just dieting, like for instance, I know a lot of people will do ketosis, and it's like, okay, that's cool. I mean, you want to lose fat a lot faster, but then what? What are you going to do after keto? You're going to eat the way you did before? Oh, I'm going to gain a bunch of weight. Okay, well, that didn't teach you anything. Being keto, doing it like strict diet doesn't really teach you anything. You got to find something that's long-term, and you can sustain it for the rest of your life. If it's 6 meals and you can sustain it, go right ahead. If it's intermittent fasting, two big meals basically a day, do that. Just make sure that you have the correct mindset and you develop lifestyle habits.